So welcome everybody to this session on physical item templates. I am Yoel Cortex, Senior Librarian at Ex Libris, and we are joined today by Lily D from Alma Product Management. Lily, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule and joining us.
Hello.
Lily will be available monitoring the chat and also giving us some comments. She's from Alma Product Management, so if we have questions or comments about future developments, current developments, etc., Lily will be here in the event that we need some assistance. Before we jump right in to the physical item templates, a little bit of administrative material. So this is part of the Alma 2024 Roadmap webinar series, which I'm sure most of you, if not all, are already familiar with this page, but I'm sending it out in the chat right now. Those of you watching this via YouTube will see a link to this page in the description of the YouTube video, so you also can get there. Now, this page includes not only the names and dates of each of the sessions, but also the accompanying resources which you can download and links to the YouTube recordings. We've also got the links elsewhere. We'll talk about that in a moment. So let's just see where we are today. It's July 10th. So we're well into this series. So we started out Tuesday, February 13th, bibliographic record and physical inventory retention. Then we moved on to the fulfillment personal pickup delivery locations. Then we talked about the new data visualization dashboards for physical books retention, physical books deselection. Then we moved on to linked open data in Alma. That was one of our largest, as far as audience goes, sessions. Physical item templates, that's where we are today. Soon after the session, you'll have a link here to the YouTube recording. Next week, you won't want to miss this one. The new managed patron services circulation desk. A lot of nice developments there. So that's next week. Then the following week, July 24th, the Consortia Central Configuration Dashboard, a brand new dashboard for managing consortia. As you can see, this session is relevant for network zone administrators and members of institutions of a network zone consortia. This is also part of our other ongoing series, which is the Network Zone Consortia webinar series. It's both relevant for network zones, so it's in that webinar series. It's also a new development for 2024, so it's in this series. Then the new all title search, really nice new feature. And then authority records matching and linking. We haven't yet scheduled that one due to so many webinars going on. We hardly have a free day. We've got this going on. We've got the Network Zone Consortia series going on. We're just wrapping up. Oh, actually, we just wrapped up the managing physical items in Alma. We're starting in September. Managing physical serials in Alma. We're just wrapping that one up. We're starting in September another Alma Analytics Become an Expert. So believe it or not, we're having a tough time finding days to do additional sessions, but we will schedule this one. We're already working on the Alma 2025 Roadmap webinar series and already have 2 entries there. I'll want to point out the education webinars page, where you can also get the links to the recordings and also register for upcoming ones. For example, if I come here and I do a search on the 2024 roadmap, I'll even say 2024 roadmap only, and you can see we've got the upcoming ones here where you can register, previous ones on demand where you can click and watch the recording. So that's different ways you can access. Now, what we're showing today, the physical item templates. We're jumping now into our topic at hand here, the physical item editor templates. So this came in as an ideas exchange with a whopping 962 votes. That's Lily, that's one of our highest votes, isn't it?
I think ever. Yeah.
Ever,
More than
ever even. Okay. So a lot of votes, and we added it in here. Now, I'd also like to point out, as far as this ideas exchange goes, we take this ideas exchange very seriously. And for example, if you look at the ALMA 2024 release notes, it's only July, and already there are 27 developments from Idea Exchange. So if you go into the release notes and you just scroll through, all of these are from the Ideas Exchange, and eventually we'll get to ours. Here's ours. It's a development from May. One thing I'll be showing today is something which is developed only for August, and I'll be pointing out that that's only for August. Let me turn that off. Sorry about that. So everything already exists in your environments, you being everybody who has the July release, except for one particular development, and I'll be pointing that out that it's only relevant for August. Okay, and without further ado, let's jump in. So we'll start very briefly with the PowerPoint just to see the theory and the reason behind the physical item templates. Then we're going to jump into ALMA and see what's going on there. So the whole point of the item templates, really like any template, is to simplify the record creation. Just like we have the purchase order line templates where you take a template and fields are already filled in, so you don't have to fill them in every time. Repetitive keystroking, as they call it. Same with metadata editor new record templates, where instead of always entering the same publisher and the same author and the same series, you make a template already filled in. Same thing here. You have certain types of items where there's multiple fields that several times are entered with the same values, so you can make a template and create an item. Not only create an item, but create multiple items. But we'll get to that soon. So as I stated, this came in originally as an Ideas Exchange, was added to ALMA in the May 2024 release. August, there'll be an additional development. So this is like I already said, instead of needing to manually enter common information, you can do it on your own. So let's start here already. Let's say I very often enter items which are material type book with an item policy not for loan or some kind of item policy. I have got committed to retain, yes. I've got a certain retention reason. I've got a certain public note. So all the time I'm doing this, so I don't want to have to enter this every time. If it's something for the same bibliographic record, I can do duplicate, but this is something for a different bibliographic record. So I can't duplicate an existing item. I got to create another one, and I got to start filling in all the fields. Well, now I can use the physical items template. So let's see how this works. Let's come and do a search first. So I'm going to come to my physical items, and I'm going to do a search here on the title. So we'll take the title, and I'm going to say contains phrase, and I'll say one of our favorite topics here, library science. I'm just going to get to the items so that I can show something. So let's say, oh, this is a great one, 1924. So this is going to fit perfectly into our scenario of books about library science from before 1950. So there are multiple ways to create a template. I'm going to create two templates now using two different methods. So the first template we're going to make is what's here on this presentation, or at least similar to that. And then I'm going to make another one for laptops. So the first one I'm going to make by editing an item, and all of these methods and everything I'm showing is in the PowerPoint. I simply don't want to bore you by flipping around on the slides. I'd rather show you live. So let's say I want, first of all, item policy not for loan, and I want material type book, and I want committed to retain, yes, and I want retention reason that it's books about library science or librarianship published from before 1950. And let's say I also want a note here which will be this note here. This is part of the title level collection, blah, 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 blah. And that's my public note. So now I've got a public note. I've got material type book. I've got an item policy. And that should be enough for us for our purposes. And I've got committed to retain yes, and I've got a retention reason. And I often enter this information into items, and I don't want to have to do that every time. So I fill everything in. I edited, in this case, an existing item. And now I'm going to save it as a template. I click Save as a template there. I'll call it, for example, Books. I've already got one here. I'll call it Books, Library Science Before 1950. I'm going to give it an end called S2 because this is our second session here. We did a session our morning. So this is session 2. Just in case I've already got something here from the morning, we're going to know everything that ends in S2 is something we're making. Then we've got public template, yes or no. Just like the other templates we have, if I say private or not public, then it will only be available to me being the logged in user. Right now I'm Alicia Hen, logged in user. I'm going to say public template, yes. So now I've saved a template. Now, I'm not going to save those changes I made to this item. I merely opened up this item in order to get to the physical item editor in order to save a template. So I'm not going to save this. I could save it, but my purpose for editing this item was not to edit the item, but rather to create the template. So I'm going to cancel out of here, but I do already have the item. Excuse me, I do already have the template saved. Now I'm going to make another template for laptops. Laptops is very popular. Equipment in general is very popular around the world. People catalog laptops and room keys and laptop chargers and headphones and even a skeleton. There's a medical library that has a skeleton cataloged. There's also a library with bicycles cataloged, believe it or not. Okay, so I'm gonna now, I'll just look for a laptop, but you know, I could take this and again do edit item and just change this to laptop and do all kinds of stuff, but I'll already go and get a laptop because I know I've got a laptop in here. So let's say laptop, I think it's a Dell Latitude if I'm not mistaken. There we are. So let's go to the items and view all items. Okay, so now I'm gonna create a new item. I'm gonna say add item. Instead of editing an existing item, I'll say add item. And then I'll fill everything in and then I'll save it as a template. So the only difference now is instead of editing an existing item, I'm adding a new item. But the main point here is I create the template from the physical item editor. I can get to the physical item editor by adding an item or by editing an existing item. So this one I'm going to make material type laptop. I'm going to say is magnetic yes. I'm going to say item policy restricted access. And someone said they don't see add item from that list of items screen. That could be for 2 reasons. You won't see add item if you've got a list of items which come from multiple holdings records, or if you don't have permissions. But let's leave that on the side. We want to focus on this part here. Add items is another issue. So we've got is magnetic, yes, item policy restricted access, laptop. What else do we want to put in here? Let's say pieces. Let's say pieces 2, which will be the laptop and the charger. Let's say that should cover it for here, but let's give it also a note. I'm going to say that should be enough actually right now. I'm going to save this. So let's say save and edit, and then I'm going to withdraw it. This is only for the purpose of my template. So I'm going to save and edit. The reason I'm saving and editing is so I can get to the notes field here. Notes, I'm going to say, in the fulfillment note, I will say, this contains both the laptop and the charger. So whoever's loaning it knows to get it back. And now we're going to say save as template. So we have restricted access in the item policy, is magnetic, yes, material type laptop, 2 pieces, and that's it. And the note, of course. Save as template. So I'll call this laptop 2 pieces S2, because all is are less S2. I'm going to say public template, yes, and save. Okay, now I'm going to cancel this one. I don't want those changes. And I really don't even need that one. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. So now we have 2 templates. Now we're going to see where can we use those templates. But let's just briefly look at the PowerPoint. Lily, I'm going to let you take those chats and answer them so I can continue here, unless there's something you think you want to point out to everybody. I saw 2 chats come in.
I think just one, the question that says, why aren't we seeing the add item in
Okay,
the
so let's point that out.
items list? So you see add item from template where you see add item, and that is on a specific holdings. So if you go into the items list of a title that has several holdings, you won't have that option because you can only add an item on a specific holding. You want to go to the holding view items, and on the items list of that holdings record, you should see both the add item and add item from template.
Okay, I always say that's not for now, and then I always end up doing it. Let's just show something here. I'm going to add now a different holdings record to this. So I have 2 holdings records. This one will be in the reference. Okay.
And I think the other questions will be answered by
Okay,
your presentation ahead. So if they're
great.
still relevant when you're finished, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, so now we're going on to adding the inventory using the item templates. So there are multiple places, and while I'm doing here, I'm going to be answering that question about adding the item. So I'm going to add inventory here while I'm on the holdings record. And now, in addition to having the add item, we also have the add item from template. This is one of 5 places where the add item from template exists. So we're going to say add item from template. And now it's showing me, excuse the other language, it's showing me the most recently used template. You can put the templates in all kinds of characters. And under public, here's the 2 that we made that end in S2. So I'm going to take this laptop 2 pieces, say create item. And here it's created the item already filled in with the information we had in the template. So I don't need to manually say material type laptop is magnetic, yes, restricted access pieces 2. Because everything's filled in, and same in the notes, it's already filled in. So we used the physical item, the add item from template in this case, while we were focused on a holdings record in the metadata editor to add a new item. And I'll save this. So now I've added an item. Now I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to release all these. And I'm going to release this one. And I'm going to go all titles again, Dell. By the way, this is the new all titles list. Here's my items. View full items list. Okay, now notice I do not have here the add item. The reason I don't have add item, someone said they didn't have add item, and I said there could be two reasons: your permissions meeting your roles, or that there are two different holdings records. So when there's two different holdings records, you can only do add item when you're in one of those holdings records. So if I take one of these holdings records and I go to the items, then I will have it. Let's even go to physical items and say title Dell items. Okay. View all items. Now I'm only in the one of the main library, so I do have add item. But let's not go too far there, but that was one of the reasons you might not see the add item. So while we're here, another place we can add item from template. We already saw it a moment ago when we were in the holdings record, we have item for template. I'm going to do the same thing from here. Say add item from template. And now it's showing me the last one I used again, with the assumption that that user will want to use that one again. But if not, I mean, we could have made it so it would be blank. And then you can go and choose either your recently used, your public ones. I don't have a private one. Maybe I'll make a private one for our example here. So I'm going to choose that template here, laptop 2 pieces. Now I'm doing the same thing. I'm simply choosing it from here. And now I'm going to use the create multiple items. Now this is the one function that exists in the August release, so you will not see it. Everything else I'm showing already exists since May. This, however, is August release, and I happen to be in a September release. So when I click the create multiple items, I get another field where I can put in how many items. So let's say now 3 items arrived, or I want to enter 3 laptops, so I can put 3 here. And when I say create item, it's going to create all 3 items. And unlike when I previously did it without the create multiple items, I'm not going to arrive to the physical item editor because there's 3 items. On a logical level, I can't get to the physical item editor on 3 items, so it's just going to tell me that's created them. Or actually, it's going to tell me it sent a job to create them, but the creation is pretty much immediate. So it's going to create 3 new items for this laptop, and I'll say create item. So it says an item creation job was submitted. It's already done. So I'm going to have 3 new items here. So now if I were to say, let's do view all holdings again. Now you can see there's 4 items. Previously I had 1. Now I have 4 items. And 3 of these were created from the template. I'm going to go into any random item, edit. And it's got laptop, restricted access, yes, 2 pieces, and it's got the note. So in summary, we have created 2 templates. We created 2 templates, one from edit item, and then we just canceled our changes after we did save as template. Another one from add item, and then we said save as template. Then we created an item, in another case 3 items from a template. The first time we did it from within the holdings record, add inventory. The second time we did it from the list of items, we said add item from template. Let's do another one in 2 ways. So if I say here, physical items, let's get this library title contains library science. Oh, yes, title contains Dell. Let's come in here and say all titles, advanced search, title. I'm going to get something with library science now to use that other template. And we're going to use the other template in 2 different places. So let's go to title. Let's go to contains phrase. Let's say library science. And now let's take Publication year. I'm going to filter by publication year. So here's one from 1927, a laboratory course in library science instruction by Elsie Florence and Leon Grace Bren. Okay, so let's say I want to add another item here, and I want to add that item using everything from the template. So I need to get somewhere where we can view the items and I can add an item. I could go to the holdings record. I could go to the list of items. I could do many things. I'm going to click this items here, and I'm going to say view full items list. This is the new all title search. You'll see this soon. Next week. No, not next week, couple of weeks. Next week is the managed patron services new page. So let's say add item from template. And now I'm going to use the public books about library science before 1950, create item, automatically filled in the material type, the item policy, the committed to retain yes, the retention reason, and the public note. So everything's already filled in. All I have to do is choose the template and say save. Major time saver. Another place where we can use that template is when we create a new item from what's called quick cataloging. Under resources, create inventory, add physical item. Again, let me do cancel. I went to resources, create inventory, add physical items, and this will work whether you do existing or new. Doesn't matter. You can use the template for both. Existing simply means we're choosing an existing bibliographic record. New means we're creating a new bibliographic record. Let's even create a new bibliographic record. I will say library science in Taiwan in the early 1920s. Okay, then I'll say publisher will be Taipei Press. Publication, place of publication will be Taipei. Edition will be the 12th edition. That should be enough. I will say publication date, I will say 1949. 1948. Okay. So that should do it. Now down here, you can see I have a place for use item template. It's all grayed out. All of this is grayed out until we choose a library and location. So let's choose a library and location. I'm going to put this in the main library, general location. And now you can see it's using the most recently used template. I can, if I want, of course, go choose a different one. And you can see also the material type is automatically filled in, the public note is automatically filled in, and the item policy is automatically filled in. I could also from here create multiple items, but I'm not going to do that. I'm also going to say don't suppress from discovery. So now I've created a new bibliographic record, and I've used that item template to create the item. So now if somebody were to come here to physical items and search for that brand new title, you can see we've got an item. Why it's suppressed, that's another reason. We've got that bibliographic retention that we gave back in February. We'll save that for another day. But you can see that the item was created, and if we go look at this item, you'll see it's got everything filled in that we had in the template, the item policy, the material type, the retention reason, the committed to retain yes. Oh, that's why it says, that's why it's got that icon, by the way, because it's committed to retain. And it's got the note. Another place where we can use this, let's take this. I'm going to give this a barcode. So today I always give it barcodes of the current time. date and time, so I know there won't be a duplicate unless someone put in a future time. So let's say now I go to loan something to someone. There's another place where we can use this template. If I were to say manage patron services and choose a patron, and this, by the way, is the new managed patron services. And now I don't already have the item loan. Let's say one of those laptops. The person wants to loan the laptop. I say, now I got to create an item. Now I got to start entering all that information. I don't remember what I need to enter. I have to go look at a different one and find out what it is, or maybe we have some internal notes. Now I can just use a template. I can create the item. I'll use an existing holdings type, and I'll look for that Dell Latitude 5420. And now I can use a template. It's giving me my most recent one, but I'm going to choose a different one. I will say, give me the laptop. And you can see it already gave the item policies. I'm going to give it a barcode also, 2024. Now I'm going to say 2024 07 10 1733. Save. Okay, now I have that fulfillment note. If you recall, I put in the fulfillment note of the template. This contains both laptop and the charger, because I created the item during the loan. That's not a new feature, this create item. The new feature is that when you do the create item, you can create the item from the laptop. And my template had a fulfillment note in there, and now we see the fulfillment note while I'm loaning. So I'm going to say loan, and never mind that. So it's been loaned. Now, I had said before that there were 5 different places where we can use this template. Excuse me, use the add item template. Let's review where they are. We have in the list of items, in the list of items, we have add item template. Let's go to view all items. So we've got the add item template from here is one. Then when we were in the holdings record, and we created an item, we had add inventory, add item for template is 2. Then when we said resources, add physical item, we did it for new. Or no, yes, we did it for new. We created that Taiwan library science in the early 1920s. So that was 3. There is a way to edit a template, someone asked. I'm going to show that soon. Then when we do existing, there's also an option to use a template. Let's even do that just for the fun. So I'm taking this, and now I can again use a template here. Recently used laptops, I'll use that. So that's 4. And then the 5 was while loaning. We saw that when we're loaning and we do create item, we can also use the templates. So that's the 5 places where we can use the physical item templates. So we saw the creation of the item templates, and we saw 5 different places where we can use the templates to create the items. Now, I'm going to stop. Lily, is there anything to stop to chat about? Because now I'm going to move to editing existing templates and deleting templates.
Yeah. So one question that I see in the chat is why don't we have unique barcodes for the items created with a multiple box? And the answer is that this environment doesn't have barcode by automatic barcode generation. If it did, barcodes would get created. And if you had more than one, then in the metadata editor and in the items list, you'd have the option to select which one you want to apply to the multiple barcodes that get created. In the quick cataloging form, there's no option to select. It always uses the default defined for the location that you're using. It's that way for add item as well as for add items from template. I hope that answers the question.
Okay,
And
thank you.
the next question is, does the history tab indicate the item record was created from template? No, it doesn't indicate that. And
Okay.
can you create the template here? I'm not sure I understand that question.
Okay, so let's create one more template just so, because I want to delete a template as well. So let's do one more template. Let's go back to this library. Let's do this. Let's say I want physical items, keywords, library science, Taiwan. Because part of what we're going to be doing is editing templates now and deleting templates. So I'm going to take this one here. Okay, this is a conference. So I'm going to create a template by opening something up first. We saw that I can create a new item and then make the template or edit an item. We said the main point is the user needs to get to the physical item editor. So I'm going to do one now for anything else. Let's make one for pamphlet. And let's say my pamphlets are not magnetic and my pamphlets are a 1-day loan or in-room staff only. Oh, let's say 1-day loan. And let's say in the notes, I'm going to put in a fulfillment note. Please make sure that all pages are securely fastened, just so we have some kind of text there. Okay, so I've got a note. I've got a material type pamphlet. I got a 1-day loan. I have is magnetic, no. And that's all I'm going to do for now. Then I'm going to save it as a template. And I'll call this a template pamphlet. And what was I calling the ones we had before? S2. Not a public template. Save. Okay, so now I've got the template. Let's see, let's make sure it works. So let's say I go to the list of items for something. And I'm going to add a new template now. I can add a new item from the template. So now I'm going to add another item here from the template. And I'm going to choose the pamphlet. I'm only going to create one. So I'm not going to fill in the create multiple templates. Create the item. Everything's filled in. I've got pamphlet, 1-day loan, is magnetic, no. And the note is filled in. Then I say, wait a minute, or someone comes to me and says, wait a minute, those templates on the pamphlet, they should have is committed to retain, yes, or some other change. So I've got a couple of ways to do this. I could now, one way, is I could now say committed to retain, yes, save as template, because I've already got everything else, and simply overwrite the one that I already had. In fact, this is a nice way. So now I can say, I'm going to take an existing template. I'm in the existing templates. I'll take the laptop. I'm saying save as template, and I'm giving it the same name that already exists. And I say save. It says, do I want to overwrite it? Or, excuse me, replace it? Yes, I do. Now that template was updated, as we can see here. And every time I create a new item from that template, let's even do that, add item from template, pamphlet S2, it will have the change. I don't remember what I changed there.
Committed to retain, I think.
Yeah, but I changed it to no. I'm going to change it to
Oh.
yes now. So everybody know it's committed to retain yes. Save as template. We'll save it as the same name again. pamphlet S2, save, confirm. Okay, great. Was updated. I create something new from a template, pamphlet S2. I'll even choose it here manually.
Oh, yeah, I
Create.
think you might be updating the private one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's never an Alma error, it's a human error. That was my human error. So I'm going to add a thank you. I'm going to use the public one and update the public one. So I'm in the public, pamphlet S2. Change this to, all right, it was updated. You can see here. I opened it up now from the template and it's already yes. Okay. So that's a way to edit a template. There is a step-by-step explanation here. This is the PowerPoint here. This is everything about creating and the places where we can update it, creating a new item from the template. We saw that. We saw the different places. We'll get to the deleting in a minute. We saw the creating multiple. Here it is, edit. So this is the whole steps. Let's do it again step by step here because we had a little glitch there. Let's say, oh, okay, someone told me I chose the wrong one. Okay, so let's go step by step here. You decide what you want to change. You add the item from the template. You make the desired changes. You save it as a template and you override it. You choose the existing template. You say confirm that you want to replace it and it gets updated. Let's do it again very slowly. So let's take another library science one. Let's go to the items and let's add item from template. We're going to choose public books, library science before 1950, create item. And let's say we want to change this now. We want to add in the notes a fulfillment note. Please caution the patron to handle the item with care due to age of the item. Okay. So now I've added a fulfillment note here. Before I only had it a public note. And very carefully, I'm going to say save as template. Choose the public, this one here. Save. Confirm that I want to replace it. Okay, so now let's see what's going to happen. If I add item from template and I choose that template again, and I say create item, now I've got both notes there. Great. So that's editing an existing template. Are there any questions or comments on editing a template before we go to the delete? So someone asked, is there a location where we can view a list of all physical item templates that have been created? Yes, and we're going to see that right now when we go to delete one. But you will see all physical item templates that have been created, which are not private for another user. You will see all of the public ones and all of the private ones that you created, but you won't see all of the private ones that other people created. Anything else, Lily, before I move on to the deletion?
Yeah, I see someone asking about a default item policy when creating an item. And yes, the item template is the way to do that. So you can create an item template with just the item policy, and then you add the items from the template and they will get that policy.
Yeah, like I have here, not for loan. Okay, so let's talk about the deletion, and while doing that, we will talk about seeing all of the items. Someone asked, when will the checkbox for creating multiple items be rolled out? That will be in the August release in approximately 20 days. Actually, approximately 25 days. Goes out on the first Sunday of the month. Okay.
But sooner on the sandbox if you want to play
All
with it.
right. Sooner on the sandbox, right. But not yet. The sandbox doesn't yet have August. That's usually around the 15th. Okay, so let's do this. Let me make that a little smaller. So now we're talking about deleting. I'm gonna make one more template. And that's going to be the one I'm going to delete. So I will call this books, etc. S2. Okay, just so I have a template that I'm going to delete. Okay. So I'm going to go all the way out of the list and everything. I'm back in. Okay, I come in the next day and someone says, hey, we got this template, books, etc. It's just clogging up the list. I don't think anyone uses it. Let's delete it. I say, okay, let's delete it. So we have to get to the list of templates. We can get to the list of templates. We saw the various ways. It's anytime we go add an item from a template or save, we can do that. So let's say I come here to edit item. I'm going to say save as template. And now, person who asked, is there anywhere we can see all of the existing templates? It's right here. This is all of the existing templates. You don't see the private templates here of other people. I haven't made a private template yet. We'll show that in a moment. But now I want to delete a template. I want to delete this books, etc. So we choose it, and then we got a delete button. So I'll click delete, and it was successfully deleted. So now, if I were to again do save as template and look at the list of existing templates, I no longer have books, etc. Let's make a private template because we haven't seen that yet. So this is only me. I'm the only one who typically does something like this. So I'm going to save this. I've got a pamphlet with 4 pieces, magnetic. I got a magnetic pamphlet with 4 pieces. So I'm going to save this as a template. I don't think anyone else is ever going to use this. So I'm going to say public template no. And I'll call it pamphlet magnetic, a magnetic pamphlet. Pamphlet magnetic 4 pieces. So this is a public template no, means it's a private one. Save. Now I've saved it. Now someone else is not going to see this one. If we come in now, just starting over here, going in anywhere to any item, and I say items. Now if I say add item from template, I have public, my templates, only I'm seeing this one. All of these are available to everybody. I'm Alicia Chen and I see this. Now, hold on with that question about deleting the templates. Because anyone who sees it on the list, a public template, yes, because now I'm going to go in as another user. So now I'm going to come in as another user. I'm going to take a little screenshot here just so later we can see. So you see, I see this, fill, no fill. And now let's say I'm a different user. So I'm going to log out of here, log in as another user. And do any search. Go to any list of items. Let me do it a physical item search. Physical item search. MMS creation date today. Where do you see how many records I cataloged today? 405 records. So now if we go to the items list, add item from template, I only see the publics. Now, person who asked, can anybody delete it? First of all, I can't delete the private one because I don't even see it. When I was logged in as Alicia Hen, I saw this one here, the pamphlet magnetic 4-piece S2. This other user doesn't see that, but yes, another user can delete one of these. If I decide we want to delete pamphlet S2, I can come along here and take any item and say save as template, select the pamphlet S2, say delete, and she's gone. That's the whole idea of a public. That's the way with other templates as well. As you know, we've got bibliographic record templates, purchase order line templates, license templates, or a license creation template. So they work along the same mechanism. So that's the issue of private templates. I'm going to go back in as Alicia. That's the issue of the private templates and the deletion. So I hope that answers the question. If not, you can keep asking. And let's just see here that we covered everything about the deleting. So that was editing an existing, deleting. Here we go. So what did we do to delete? We opened the physical item editor. We said save as template. We chose the template we want to delete. We clicked delete and it was deleted. And here it is. We selected it. We have the delete. We click the delete and it was gone. Here we go. Okay, that covers what I wanted to cover. Lily, how are we on questions? Do we want to?
Yeah, we have a couple.
Okay.
So, hoping I didn't miss anything. One is, can templates be used in the receiving workflow? And the answer is templates are not currently supported in the acquisitions and receiving workflow. We are looking into that. If you're interested, if you think that would be helpful, opening an idea exchange is always helpful for us to assess the interest and the relevant workflows for that. But we are looking into that. Another question that I saw was, are there separate permissions for using and for editing or deleting public templates? No, currently there are not. If you want template that no one can mess with, you can create a private one and then it's yours and you can do with it whatever you want. The public templates are shared at this time, at least. And then, is it possible to create a template and make it default for creating all future items so you do not have to go through the selection of template each time? So you don't have to go through the selection of template each time. The template is a user preference. So once I select a template in add item from template, all the add item from template workflows remember my selection and will use that same template until I switch to another template. So I only need to select a template when I move to creating different items. So as you already
Like
saw
here, it's
now,
already filled in by
it
default.
remembers. And if I do add template from the metadata editor or in the quick cataloging, it will also be filled in. So I only need to select a different template when I'm creating a different type of item in order to really minimize the need to select and the clicks. It remembers what I'm doing. It will continue to create the same type of items until I tell it I want to now create a different type of items. And then it will remember that. Okay, I'm hoping there were some questions before that I knew that you were going to answer in the presentation. So I'm hoping everything got answered, but if anyone had a question that I missed and you want to put it in the chat now, you can, or any other questions that you didn't think of before.
Anybody? Final questions? We're looking at the chat. Okay, so the recording will be posted as usual to the YouTube. There will be a link from the ALMA 2024 Roadmap Webinar Series page, and of course from the Education Webinars page like we saw earlier. And we hope to see everybody next week for the new Managed Patron Services page. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.